Well, good evening. Hello once again, and welcome to Global Girls TV. Global Girls TV on CAN TV. I'm Marvinetta Penn, Executive Director and founder of Global Girls. It's been 2 long weeks since I was here. I was out for Valentine's Day, not for Valentine's Day, but because I had to do something. I was out of town for Valentine's Day, and I was out for President's Day. CAN TV was closed, so I wasn't here. So it feels like it's been quite a while since I was in this seat talking to you guys out there in television land. But I am so happy to be back. And of course, you know that my topic for this whole series has been all about love. It's all about love. And people ask me, why are you doing this topic? Why are you doing every show on love when so much else is happening in the world? You've got the Russian invasion of Ukraine going on. You've got the COVID vaccine going on, debate about that. You've got the mask mandates being lifted. You've got all this strife here and all of these problems there. And I say, I want to take a break from all of that, and I want to focus on love. So that's what I have been doing, and tonight is a continuation of my exploration on the topic of love. I started off talking about the definition of love that works for me, and I think works for more than a few people, and I've expounded on that. I talked about how we teach our children about love, how we learned about love, we talked about self-love. I had a wonderful guest on. I had a young person on talking about love and young people today. So tonight I'm going to be talking about a totally different aspect of love. And that aspect is love myths. And while I was learning about love myths, I ran across another very, very interesting topic for me. I found out about this topic when I decided I was going to get married I got married in May of 2000. So it's been like 20 years ago that I got married. And I am not married now, but it was a nice marriage. But I started researching marriage, and then I started researching love back then and what it took to make a marriage work, because I thought I was in it for the long run, and I really was. Didn't quite happen that way, but that's okay. We're best of friends, trust me. My ex and I are best of friends because I just believe in being friends. So I learned a lot. And then I wrote a play called My Vagina, My Voice, and I researched more about love. And I just walked away with a totally different understanding of this whole concept of love. And one of the things that I researched was the business of love. Wow, certain things I just did not know, and I am so happy to be able to share the things that I have learned with you guys out there in television land. So we're going to get into that a little bit more in detail. But right now, I want to tell you once again who Global Girls is, what we're all about. I forget I have to go this way, the opposite of the way I really want to go. But Global Girls is a youth performing arts organization based on the Southside of Chicago. We've been around 22 years. Yes, 22 years. And it's been a wonderful journey. I've worked with thousands of girls and hundreds of boys in our school-based programs, because we work with boys and girls in our school-based programs, and we worked with boys and girls in our After School Matters program, which was a program that I ran, that we had a partnership with After School Matters for about 15 years, about 15 or 18 of the 22 years that I ran Global Girls. I say it in the past tense because some things might be changing, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'll be making an announcement on our last show about the reimagining of Global Girls, and so you can look forward to seeing that. But in the meantime, we have some wonderful things going on at Global Girls. We have a partnership with 2 other organizations, the Southside Jazz Coalition and the African Fest. Yes, Africa House International and the Southside Jazz Coalition are partners with Global Girls in an initiative called the Southside Arts Collaborative. And that's where we're trying to to promote arts on the South Side, promoting the arts on the South Side, and engaging all types of people, all types of interests, all types of audiences, from seniors to babies, in the pursuit of the arts, in engaging in the arts, whether you are a performer or a connoisseur, an audience member, whether you are someone who wants to learn more about the arts, a novice in the arts, you just want to take a few classes in something, or you want to get deep into it and you really want to become a professional, then we would be the place where you would come to learn how you can do those things, to get the resources to do those things, to find out the people and the places who can help you in those areas. So that's one of the things that we're doing. The Southside Jazz Coalition is starting to have their monthly jazz sets again. The governor just announced that we can go maskless in a lot of places, and I know people want to get out. They want to enjoy themselves. The weather was 50 degrees today. Oh, it felt so good to be outside. So I'm really looking forward to a wonderful spring and a wonderful, even better summer than we had last year. So it is going to be so much fun. Last summer I had backyard concerts almost every sumber, almost every Sunday. Let me rephrase that. I had backyard jazz concerts 8 Sundays last summer. And I know my neighbors were like, I don't believe she is doing this again, jamming the streets with cars, and we can't even park in front of our house. So neighbors, forgive me, I will not be doing it again this summer. I know that the musicians and my friends who enjoy the music, I know they're going to be like, no, we want to have the jazz again. But that was a lot of work. A lot of fun. Don't get me wrong, it's a lot of fun. The music was fabulous. We have some of the best musicians ever right here in Chicago. And thanks to Safe and Peaceful Communities, I got a little grant that helped me pay for it. And people were just so amazing. Not a single problem. We had people of all ages in my backyard just having a fabulous time. And I really, really, really thank my friends and the Southside Jazz Coalition and everybody who partnered with us to make that event so successful. So at Global Girls, the Southside Jazz Coalition, in partnership with the Southside Arts Collaborative, will be putting on an event at Harris Park on March 18th in honor of Women's History Month. You can contact Global Girls at info@globalgirlsinc.org, or you can call us at 773-902-2359 to get more information about that event. Again, the number is 773-902-2359. Also, we have a fabulous summer camp that's coming up that will run for 7 weeks over the summer for girls between the ages of 4 and 14. 4 and 14 at our location. That summer camp runs, like I said, for 7 weeks from 8:30 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon. We provide them with breakfast, lunch, and treats along the way. We teach them dance, teach them acting. We teach them how to get on stage and discover just how fabulous they are. And in the end, we have a showcase where the young people get on stage, they sing, they dance, they act, they make up their own skits. We help them with it. They recite poetry. It is a beautiful, beautiful event. So we're going to have that. And if you like more information on that, also, you can contact us at info@Global Girls Inc. That's INFO at globalgirlsinc.org, or you can always call us at 773-902-2359, or stop in at the studio. Stop on by the studio at 8151 South Chicago Avenue. Now, we have a few other events planned for Women's History Month. We're going to be having a Women's Wellness Day at the studio in the last Saturday. That's going to take place the last Saturday in March, which is March 26th, I do believe. And it's going to be a wonderful event. wonderful event. So find out more information. Next time I'm here, I'll have a flyer for sure that I can put up, and you guys can see the event right here online. But if you go to our website, you'll be able to see that event very, very soon. Our website is www.globalgirlsinc.org. That's globalgirlsinc.org, and you can see all of the upcoming events, beautiful videos that we have, all of that right at our website. So, and if you have any other questions about how to enroll your daughter in a Global Girls program, how to bring Global Girls to your community, how to partner with Global Girls in any way, how to become a part of the Southside Arts Collaborative, please, please, please contact us for more information. Now, we're going to get into the heart of tonight's show, which is love myths. Myths are things that we begin to take as true. We begin to think that these things are true when they're not based in any science or even in reality. There's no proof that these statements are true or that these ideas are true. They're just something we heard from somebody. Somebody started saying these things, and then other people started saying them because they sounded good. Other people made us believe that these things were true. And when I say other people, I'm mostly talking about the industry, the business of love. You know, romantic love that we know it today was not something that people even considered before the 18th century. So, the way we think about love with Valentine's Day and Sweetest Day and Christmas and all these business concepts was not a reality before the 18th century. So a lot of the ideas that we have about love in relationships, especially significant other relationships, and right in this segment, I'm not necessarily talking about love of humanity, which is one type of love of nature, which is one type of love, familial love, which is love of parents, love of children, but I'm talking about that partner love. And I'm not talking about friendships, even though they do have Friendship Day, and I think you're supposed to get your best friend a card or get your best friend to take your best friend out to lunch. It's all about money. Cash money, because cards cost money, lunch costs money. Most of the things associated with love these days cost money. And that's going to be the focus of my show next week. The business of love, the business of romantic love. All of these industries that have popped up from the first Valentine's Day card, which was in the 18th century, to foster the sale of cards, of novelty cards, get you to spend your money. And today, Valentine's Day is an $80 billion industry. The statistics show that people spent $80 billion on Valentine's Day alone. And that included jewelry, gifts, clothing. That included restaurants, that included flowers, that included trips, that included everything in that Valentine's Day industry. Imagine if we took that $80 billion and did something else with it. If we tried to save the planet. If we tried to figure out a way to get more clean water to countries in Africa, to the developing world. I mean, there's a lot that we can do with $80 billion. If you love somebody, did you have to go out and do all that? When I was married, my husband and I said that, oh no, we will not be celebrating Valentine's Day. We will not be celebrating Sweetest Day. From time to time, we would do kind things for one another simply because we like one another, not because somebody says, today is the day for you to do that. Now, I'm going to talk about some other myths about love, but first, I want to show you guys a video that breaks it all down, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk about those myths in a few more details. So let's just go to the video.
Since around 1750, We've been living in a highly distinctive era in the history of love that we can call Romanticism. Romanticism emerged as an ideology in Europe in the mid-18th century in the minds of poets, artists and philosophers, and it's now conquered the world. No single relationship ever follows the romantic template exactly, but its broad outlines are frequently present nevertheless, and can be summed up as follows. Romanticism is deeply hopeful about marriage. Romanticism took marriage, hitherto seen as a practical and emotionally temperate union, and fused it together with a passionate love story to create a unique proposition, the lifelong, passionate love marriage. Along the way, Romanticism united love and sex. Previously, people had imagined that they could have sex with characters they didn't love, and that they could love someone without having extraordinary sex with them. Romanticism elevated sex to the supreme expression of love. Frequent, mutually satisfying sex became the bellwether of the health of any relationship. Without necessarily meaning to, Romanticism made infrequent sex and adultery into catastrophes. Romanticism proposed that true love must mean an end to all loneliness. The right partner must, it promised, understand us entirely, possibly without needing even to speak to us. They would intuit our souls. Romantics put a special premium on the idea that our partner might understand us without needing to say anything. Romanticism believed that choosing a partner should be about letting oneself be guided by feelings rather than practical considerations. You know you're in love because you have a special feeling. Romanticism has manifested a powerful disdain for practicalities and money. It feels cold, or as we say, unromantic, to say you know you're with the right person because the two of you make an excellent financial fit, or because you gel over things like bathroom etiquette and attitudes to punctuality. Romanticism believes that true love is synonymous with accepting everything about someone. The idea that one's partner or oneself may need to change is taken to be a sign that the relationship is on the rocks. You're going to have to change is a last-ditch threat. This template of love is a historical creation. It's a hugely beautiful and often enjoyable one. But we can state boldly, Romanticism has been a disaster for relationships. It's an intellectual and spiritual movement which has had a devastating impact on the ability of ordinary people to lead successful emotional lives. The salvation of love lies in overcoming a succession of errors within Romanticism. These are some of the myths of Romanticism. That we should meet a person of extraordinary inner and outer beauty and immediately feel a special attraction to them and they to us. We should have highly satisfying sex not only at the start but forever. We should never be attracted to anyone else. We should understand one another intuitively. We don't need an education in love. We may need to train to become a pilot or brain surgeon, but not a lover. We'll pick that up along the way by following our feelings. We should have no secrets and spend constant time together. Work won't get in the way. We should raise a family without any loss of sexual or emotional intensity. Our lover must be our soulmate, best friend, co-parent, co-chauffeur, accountant, household manager, and spiritual guide. If we question the assumptions of the romantic view of love, it's not in order to destroy love, but to save it. We need to piece together a post-romantic theory of couples, because in order to make a relationship last, we have to be disloyal to the romantic emotions that get us into it in the first place. We need to replace the romantic template with a psychologically mature vision of love we might call classical, and which encourages in us a range of unfamiliar but hopefully effective attitudes. For example, that it's normal that love and sex may not always belong together, that discussing money early on, up front, in a serious way, is not a betrayal of love, that realizing that we're rather flawed, and our partner is too, is of huge benefit to a couple, because it increases the amount of tolerance and generosity in circulation. That we will never find everything in one person, nor they in us, not because of some unique flaw, but because that's just the way human nature is. That we need to make immense and often rather artificial-sounding efforts to understand one another, that intuition can't get us where we need to go. And that spending 2 hours discussing whether bathroom towels should be hung up or can be left on the floor is neither trivial nor unserious. There is a special dignity around issues of laundry and timekeeping. All these attitudes and more belong to a new, more hopeful, post-romantic future for love.
video was so very informative to me. It was so perfect because I asked my students, we do a lot of work in the schools, and I work with a lot of young people, and I'm always like, so what is love? And I even ask adults this, what is love? And they tell me that it's a strong feeling.
Do you think any of us will look back in our lives and regret the things we didn't buy?
What if that feeling leaves? Feelings change. You can be mad head over heels in, oh my gosh, one day, but familiarity those deep emotions kind of wear off. They kind of wear a little thin. So when the oh my gosh turns into, oh hey, how you doing? Is love gone? Because that intense feeling is no longer there? I don't think so. I think we need to change the way that we look at love. We need to see love in a different light. Well, I'm asking more people to consider love in a different way, and let's let go of the romantic myths that have sprout up around love. To not think of it in terms of an emotion so much. Yeah, during the honeymoon phase, if you're with somebody that you're compatible with, you guys have some of the same values, you see yourself going in the same direction, you have similar likes, or you can tolerate somebody's dislikes, and you just enjoy spending time with that person. That person makes you feel the kind of way. Yeah, you get a little bit of that, but you see something in that person that you think you can help grow. Then you might have the foundation of something more serious. You might have the foundation of love. And it's when all of those butterflies leave, you can still bring up those butterflies, but when they kind of subside and you don't see the butterflies as light as you did before, you don't see them as closely as you did before, if there's a foundation to that, then you can go deeper with the love, with the connection, with the commitment to somebody when you let go of some of those myths. So I just want to talk about a few of those myths very quickly. A great relationship should be easy. My mother told me that if something comes to you too easily, it's not worth the time. It's not worth the time or the energy. Even Michael Jordan had to practice. He had to practice shooting those free throws. Steph Curry has to practice, and he practices every day to be the best basketball player that he can possibly be. So we might think, yes, he has natural talent. Both of those guys, Michael Jordan, I was about to say Michael Jackson, he had a natural talent too, but that young man worked so hard to develop his talent. So why? And Steph Curry all three of them worked very, very hard to develop what was naturally there. So a couple has to work hard to develop what started out as a good thing. If you want it to become a great thing, which love is based on, then you have to work at it. It's not necessarily going to be easy, and it's not going to be a bed of roses every day. But if that person is worth it, and you feel like this relationship is worth it, then you will work at it, and you will work through those rough spots. And why not? We are not here to be islands. We are not here to be alone. Being a part of something, being a part of somebody is a natural desire for us as human beings. And I think that love is one of the greatest gifts that we can give to other people. Another one is, if your significant other is jealous, really, really jealous, that means he or she loves you. Not necessarily. It could just be a personal flaw that person has, that they're so insecure that they want to hold on to you forever. And I'd not be a little wary of somebody who was so jealous that you could not walk out of the house, or they would want to know where you are. That's a bit of controlling to me. So let's not confuse those controlling actions with love. If you love somebody, you got to be able to set them free. And you got to be able to trust that that person is going to come back, that they're going to not go around and do anything that would upset the relationship. And you got to let them do what they are, because it's two people in a relationship. It's not two people melding into one person, but you still have those two people in that relationship. Another one that I want to get to very quickly, because I'm running out of time. I always run out of time. But don't go to bed angry. Sometimes you might need to sleep on it rather than saying something that you know might hurt the other person, that you know you haven't really thought through. It might be a good idea to sleep on that thing that's bothering you so that you can wake up with a new perspective, a fresh perspective on that topic, and you can get beyond what it was that was making you angry. Something else, marriage and babies can save a bad relationship. If you got a bad relationship, the last thing you want to do is make this thing legal. You're not even getting along in the first place. You're seeing all these flaws in another person, and you think that, oh, if we just get married, it's going to be all right. Oh, if we just have a baby, that's going to bring us closer. Don't do that. Let's not do that. Let's work on having a good relationship. And not everybody that you get butterflies with is meant to be a person that you fall in love with and have a long-term relationship. Perhaps you get the butterflies, you get to know the person a little bit better, and you say, you know what? I think we are great friends. I think we have the foundation of a long-lasting friendship. But this is not love. This is not love because you don't want to see me become the best person I can possibly be, and I'm not really interested in helping you become the best person you can possibly be. But we can be great friends. We can hang out, we can do this, we can do that, but not necessarily in a long-term love relationship. Another thing is, oh my gosh, sex. Hot topic. The sex is great. You think the sex is going to make it's all about love. Anything you do, if you eat too much candy, the candy is not quite as good. Whatever you do, whatever you love, whatever you think is wonderful, 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 it's never going to be as good as it was the first time, okay? And you eat it more and more and more, that candy becomes bland. You don't even want that same candy bar anymore. So it has to be based on something more than just one thing. And I'd just like to suggest to you that you come into a relationship being a whole person. The last myth I want to talk about very quickly is the myth that getting into this relationship is going to make me happy. It's going to fulfill me. No, it won't. No, it won't. Nobody has the right to fulfill you, to make you happy, or to make you unhappy, or to unfulfill you other than you. You have to bring your best game to the table at all times. Steph Curry cannot make that team. Michael Jordan could not make the Bulls. He brought his best game to the table. Steph Curry brings his best game to the table. The other players bring their best game to the table. And together they can become a winning team. Same thing in a relationship, in a love relationship. You are whole, you are complete in and of yourself. And if you know that, if you trust that, and that other person is whole and complete in himself or herself, then the two of you can come together and walk along this love road and be happy, whole, and healthy. And that's what I want for all of you out there. Please, 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 just go on YouTube and don't look at the material part of love. Don't listen to all the songs, read all the books, because they're in it to make money. All those people are in it to make money. Please do not go down that road, but think, do I have a relationship that is good for me, that I think is good for me, and that I'm willing to invest in, and I'm willing to invest in this person just like they're investing in me? Thank you so much. I'm having a conversation with a bunch of women this week talking about love, and I think we're going to record it and have it on for you guys next week. I really, really, really hope in my heart that this comes to pass. But it has been a strong gas being here with you tonight, being back here at CAN TV, and I hope you're able to take something away from our conversation tonight. Don't get snookered by the myths around love, but truly, truly, truly love yourself enough to really love somebody else. Thank you so much, and good night. Till next time. Take care.